Alright, what's up, guys? So, Hot T, she has uploaded a video titled James Charles Ended Trisha Paytas. Dang. Shout out to James Charles. I feel like I never shout him out. So, yeah, shout out to James Charles. Make sure you guys, if he truly did end Trisha Paytas, like, there's no way possible. Like, she's honestly in a checkmate move. Then, yeah, either way, whether she is or whether she's not, still go show some love to James Charles. You know, he's one of those YouTubers where it's like this man be facing like he's in like a lot of like drama and beef, but it's like usually he be coming out clean on the other side and stuff. Like, so that's good. That's good that he's like he could get caught up in something, but it's like it's lies usually. And you know his name is cleared. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this video. If you guys haven't, make sure you guys go subscribe to Hot T, her second channel, Raver Hemi, and her business channel, Build Your Pocket. I was trying to like blend it all in together and stuff. But yeah, subscribe to Build Your Pocket and follow her on social media. Also, Build Your Pocket has an Instagram account, so make sure you guys go follow that. And then that being said, let's go ahead full screen and get into this video. Let's see what goes down. I swear I'm about to like find out like that song or just use that part and just remix it into something. If I do, I'm gonna call the song Hot Tea. But anyways.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. You will not believe what's going on with Trisha Paytas, James Charles, and the D'Amelio sisters right now. Before we get into today's extremely hot tea, make sure to subscribe.
I know, yeah, Trisha Paytas, she has some things to say that was like criticizing about Charli D'Amelio and the whole 100 million followers thing on TikTok. And it's kind of like, you know, hypocritical in a way how if Trisha Paytas was getting on Charli D'Amelio for talking numbers and stuff, I'm like, wasn't that you were doing the same thing when you were in David Dobrik's videos? Like, it was almost like every time when you was on camera, you was talking about how much money you made, or I'm like, yeah, and it's like, you know, it's stuff at the end of the day that doesn't matter. But I'm like, you can't get on somebody. It's like, this is what's going on in their life. Whatever you got going on in your life, you need to focus on that. But anyways,
channel and give it a big old thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, because as some of you may or may not have noticed, I've been shadow banned. Yay! Okay, so it all started on November 16th when the D'Amelio family vlog channel on YouTube posted a dinner with the D'Amelios video with James Charles.
Honestly, like, cause I did talk on this myself. I think it was my version of the video where I was talking about this whole situation, and I thought it was a TV show. They had like the camera set up. I thought these guys had like a reality TV show. I'm like, did it come on like, what's that one, like the Kardashian, their show, like E or something like that? They just call it E. But anyways, I thought they had like a show on there. I was like, dang, just like these guys just started blowing up and they already got a TV show?
A surprise guest. And this video garnered a lot of just negative attention for so many reasons. For starters, this video also featured a celebrity chef, Erin May, who often appears on the Food Network. Erin served the D'Amelio family a traditional Spanish paella with cooked snails. Dixie, who has been open about having a sensitive stomach, tried one of the snails and then ran outside to throw up.
What is this?
Oh my god.
It's a mushroom.
No, it's not. That's a snail.
Oh my
It
god.
is a snail.
Oh!
See?
It sometimes happens when...
Dang.
Oh god.
So dramatic.
Don't be so dramatic.
It's so dramatic. I'm like, bro, that's when I would have turned around, like, just straight sick face and been like, bro, that is a snail. Like, mom and dad, this is a snail. Since when have we've ever been to McDonald's and I order a Happy Meal and I say, hey, make sure it got them snails in it? Like, no, that ain't being dramatic. That's honestly, that most likely would have been my reaction too. I don't think that's being dramatic. I think that's like most people's like common reaction. I'm like, look, if you grew up watching Fear Factor, hands down, they probably had it where it was one of those challenges. You gotta eat like 10 snails to beat this person so you get closer to winning $50,000. I'm like, yeah, bro, ain't nobody out here just randomly just eating snail. I'm like, unless this is what you grew up eating. I'm like, Charli D'Amelio, I think, she's slightly older than, or no, Dixie D'Amelio, she's slightly older, I think, like 2-3 years older than Charlie, I'm like, okay, these guys are still like teenagers, whatever. I'm like, this is my first time eating this. Like, I'm at a significant high age in my life, and I've never eaten snail before. So and I'm like, y'all ain't eating snail, so.
Use yourself.
She being real? Or she being dramatic?
It was good, but then there's a salty part on it. That was not good. It tasted like chicken, and then I tried the salty part.
Everything tastes like
everything came
chicken.
out.
Do we have any dino nuggets?
Ew.
Charlie also asked if there were dino nuggets instead of the food that Erin May cooked, which led fans of the sisters to call them rude and entitled towards the chef. By the way, Erin May told paparazzi that he actually wasn't offended and that the snails were intended to trigger a reaction from Dixie.
Somebody on production thought it would be funny to feed Dixie and Charlie snails.
I did hear about that.
They
I
didn't
did hear
take it
about
the best.
that.
I love Dixie and Charlie. I've worked with them before. I'm going to work with them again. I think
Yeah,
it's a
it's
little
like,
blown out of
everything is
proportion.
cool.
Those girls are the greatest. I love them.
Okay.
It was all fun and games.
Then there was also the fact that by the end of the video, Charlie complained about not reaching 100 million subscribers in 1 year. Apparently 98 million wasn't enough, or however many she had.
Ugh, I wish I had like more time. Because imagine if I hit 100 mil a year after hitting a mil.
Was the 95 not enough for you?
Well, I was just like saying like even number.
Well,
2 days after the video was posted,
I don't
fans
know,
started-
like, it's kind of a situation where I'm like, I don't know, I've been in her shoes where I'm like, I want to reach a certain goal by the end of the year, but it's more so just reaching that goal. And honestly, I know, like, the number one way on reaching that goal is whatever I'm doing, I just gotta keep doing more of it so I can reach that goal. But I'm like, I'm not just like, oh, you know, I just want to reach that number without doing nothing. I'm pretty sure that's not her intentions. This girl's been, I don't pay attention to her. I don't watch her videos, but she has to be killing it. She has to be doing something to where it's driving in like this much attention, and to where like now she does have 100 million followers. So yeah, but I'm like, that's the thing. I'm like, if you're at like 95 or I don't know, like maybe her account was growing at a slow rate or something, I don't know, but I'm like, yeah, you're at 90 something million. It's like most likely you're gonna hit 100 million sometime soon. Like, yeah, it's like, you know, just give it time. Like, if you don't reach that number, you don't reach that number. Wait until next year. That's how I see things. I'm like, if I don't reach the number this year, hey, I got next year. So world ain't ending. So anyways,
getting outraged and started unfollowing Charlie on TikTok, causing her to lose over 750,000 followers in a span of
dang.
24 hours and 1 million followers altogether.
Yeah, I
but
thought-
she
yeah, I
did soon
remember hearing
rebound,
that.
and not only did she recover her lost followers, but she is now finally past the
crazy.
100 million subscriber mark. But then, of course, the queen of inserting herself into other people's drama, Trisha Paytas, had to comment on the situation as well. She reacted to some TikTok about Charlie being rude, saying,
I feel like hot tea, like it's gonna come a point in time. It's gonna definitely come a point in time where I feel like, cause I don't know, I feel like I do make a significant amount of videos against Trisha Paytas. Even podcast episodes, and then plus with that one video, the canceled Trisha Paytas video I worked on. I feel like at some point in time, Trisha Paytas like will take notice to me, and most likely I'll be coming out in the video saying, "Oh yeah, Trisha Paytas like slapped me or punched me in the face when I was like out in public or something." Hot tea is hands down. This is gonna be the point in time when she's just all like, "Don't you move nowhere, don't go nowhere. I'm flying to the United States," and we're just gonna have like a little conversation. Like hot tea, she's gonna straight up like come to my house with boxing gloves on, talking about where is she. Like, I need to, probably not even, but like, probably in the whole, like, Batwoman costume, like, where is she? Like, I need to see her right now. I feel like if Trisha Paytas did cause any, like, physically harm, I don't know, I feel like I would be in the clear. I'm like, yo, Ray, you ain't even gotta do nothing. Like, you could just chill at home. Like, that was pretty much, like, the final, like, nail to the coffin of her career. But anyways, no, that'll never happen.
Like,
but
just kind of being really combative and bratty towards people who had criticism of the girls. They're 19, they're young, but I do think since they are role models on such a big platform, they should be called out when they need to be humbled a little, because you see this happen all the time. People get really famous, a lot of followers really quickly. They think they're entitled to 100 million. They complain that they only have 95 million followers. They complain that they have a personal chef, and it's just unbecoming. And I don't think it's something to be embarrassed about.
They complained that they had a personal I think they complained over the food. And it wasn't even more so of a complaint. Like, you have to remember the girl was just eating snail. Like, yeah, Yeah, pretty much what Hot T said, like the queen of inserting herself in other people's business. But
As they are young girls, but to be catty and bratty in the comments when people are just like, hey, we're kind of like, this isn't cool behavior. It's just trying to help them learn and ultimately not get canceled, because this kind of attitude, it won't get you far.
I mean, to be completely honest with you guys, it's not like I necessarily disagree with Trisha in this case. Like, they were being kind of rude. Not too rude, like, I get it, because it's a show. They want to make it a little entertaining and be a little bit over dramatic. Like, if you guys remember, Shane Dawson would make all those food videos, and you know what I mean? Like, you kind of over-exaggerate your reactions a little bit. But I just feel like it's just not Trisha's place.
I don't know. I probably would have had, like, it with the Snell situation. I probably would have had the same like reaction to it and stuff. Like, I just don't eat Snell. I don't eat stuff like that. So I'm sorry if people want to put me in that category as somebody rude. I'm like, that's just who I am, but I just don't eat snails. So I'm like, I feel like that's something, like, I don't know, I feel like something like that, you just gonna have to make it clear, like, look, just give me the foods that I eat, don't try to surprise me or do stuff for the camera. So I'm like, in reality, whoever set that up, I'm like, that's on them. I'm like, but me, I'm like, that's just how I react to stuff. And then with the Charlie D'Amelio wanting 100 followers, I'm like, I just see it as like, look, the girl just wanted to reach a goal before the year ended. So it's like, there's no problem with setting goals for yourself. Everybody does it. It's like, just like a New Year's resolution. You set a goal for yourself, or just with anything, like, you just overall, like, it's you just trying to motivate yourself. So as I see it, it's like, you know, the girl, like, I mean, I don't know, if her intentions was just to ask for 100 million, then yeah, it doesn't work like that. You're gonna have to work for your 100 million. So you're gonna have to come out with some more TikTok dances and a bunch of other stuff. But anyways,
to be making this comment, you know, like, she's not the right person to be saying these things. Dixie later tried to explain that her team set her up to elicit a reaction because they knew she would throw up just at the smell of snails, but this video just wasn't well received by angry fans generally, and Trisha did respond to this as well.
Basically, my team knows I throw up a lot. I can throw up at the smell, the thought, or the taste of anything.
Okay, so this is coming as constructive criticism and not hate whatsoever. This was not an apology, girl. This was not a sincere apology. You're making excuses after excuses after excuses. And you are 19, so you're a legal adult. Charlie's a minor, so it's a little different. But she is saying in this clip that her team knows that she'll puke at anything, at the smell of anything. If that's the case, why set her up in this situation with a professional chef in a home getting a private meal cooked? Are they setting her up for a sabotage? Do they want to make her look bratty? Do they want her to make hated? Was this all a PR stunt just to get more views and followers to her? Because if they were going for comedic effect, simple lifestyle, why not feed her Fear Factor style stuff like cow tongue or pig's heart or stuff they used to feed them?
Well, Trisha, fun fact, some people do actually eat cow tongue in some cultures, just like how in some other cultures people do actually eat snails. They are both equally as rare for us, so it doesn't really matter what they would have given her, people would have still been offended.
And Charlie saying let's have dino nuggets instead with a pronounced chef in a private setting. Suspicious. Get a new team, girl.
Dude, she's 16. Of course she's gonna prefer dino nuggets or whatever those are to some fancy chef-made meal. She's 16, for God's sake. Charlie went live and
oh no, I kind of took it as like her being sarcastic. I'm like, you got like this famous chef in your kitchen, you asking for dino nuggets? I'm like, don't do that. Honestly, yeah, if I got like some, like, you know, this world's famous or whatever form of famous chef in my kitchen, I'm like, yo, so like, what do you got? Like, what do you, like, what can, like, you know, because I'm like, I don't know, I'm like, bro, I'm used to like getting like already made food from like the frozen aisle in Safeway, or just going to some fast food restaurant and getting my food. But like, you know, I ain't never had like no like personal chef, so I'm like, show me what you got. But you know, don't feed me cow tongue, snails, or any of that stuff. That's just not my culture. I'm like, I don't eat stuff like that. So, but anyways,
asked Trisha to stop talking about her entirely.
And like, I'm just gonna say, Trisha Paytas, like, this is not, sorry, just, you have been completely rude to me multiple times, saying she doesn't have a personality, she can't dance, she's basic. Like, you have your own problems, please stop worrying about mine. Like, please stop talking about me. You're not a very nice person.
So Charlie called me out on her live. Now Charlie is a minor, so I'm going to try and just handle this with literal kid gloves because she is a child and I understand that. It's concerning how her parents raised her.
Girl, have you seen yourself? Like, you have absolutely no business commenting on how other people raise their children.
And that she's hanging out with James Charles because now she has adopted James
Yeah, because
Charles.
that does bring up a good question. I'm like, okay, so what was going on in your household? Because I'm pretty sure your household wasn't, no, everybody sitting proper at the table, you know, talking about like their day in perfect languages and sentences and things. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you had a crazy, some sort of circus act. I feel like, you know, like, I don't know, like nobody's perfect. No families are like, you know, just picture perfect. Like, you know, they're not the families that you'll see in like picture frames or pictures in Target or something. But yeah, it's like you shouldn't judge another person's family or even judge that person because, like, you know, especially if you're trying to make it seem like you're better, like you're more perfect than the person, or you have nothing positive to say about them. Like, yeah, it's just you are in no place of business. Like, talking to Trisha Paytas is like you're in no place of business to do that. So,
of the keep my name out of your mouth. She told me to stop talking about her and that she's been rude that I've been rude when she's literally the most followed person on social media. That's what she signed up for. And I haven't been rude. I've given constructive criticism.
What was that?
Constructive criticism as far as this situation goes. Because
if she said that, if Charli D'Amelio said that you were like, oh, she's basic, this, that, pretty much what Charli D'Amelio said, how is that constructive criticism? Like, see, that's the thing. I'm like, people really be trying to hide behind that. Like, oh, I'm just giving you constructive criticism, but just accept the fact that I'm insulting you. Like, yeah, that's constructive criticism. No, it's not. Like, I wish people would stop, like, trying to hide behind constructive criticism. If you don't want to call yourself a hater, then don't leave comments like that where people won't be calling you a hater. But it's like, leave actual, legitimate, constructive, criticizing comments. Don't leave comments that's going to insult the person, because at that point, person is just going to be like, okay, well then, yeah, you're a hater. And it's like, and if you don't know how to leave a constructive, criticizing comment, then don't leave a comment at all. See, here's the thing. I know I might say some like criticizing things about Trisha Paytas and stuff, but it's usually just based off of what I've seen from her. Am I a hater? No, I'm not going to say I hate on her. I'm not going to say I spend my days just like trying to figure out what she's up to, what she's doing, and all of that. So me personally, I wouldn't call myself a hater, you know. But if some people put me in that category, then they could put me in that category and things. I'm like, but I'm at the same time, I'm not going to say that I'm a fan of her. I don't want to be a fan of her. At this point in time, I'm like, yo, she retired from YouTube. I will get all 3 hours of sleep that I will usually get at night. So anyways,
I do feel for her, and I do think it is her parents' poor raising that gave them the manners that they have. And she lumped me in a category of people telling her to kill herself, which I've never encouraged, nor have I encouraged hate or anything. I was always saying stuff with constructive criticism. She specifically goes on to say, Trisha Paytas, you have your own problems. Stop worrying about mine. As if to say, I'm the crazy one on the internet, I'm the mess, nobody likes me, blah, blah, blah. And that's totally fine. And I'm not worried about you. I'm commentating on poor behavior, because that's the only way you're going to be able to grow and change. And it looks like you have remorse. It looks like you're upset.
I never understand like a person where it's like they're like beneath you, like whether we're talking numbers on social media or just as a person in general. And I'm not trying to say this, it's gonna most likely come off as disrespectful, but I will look at Charli D'Amelio for advice when it comes to social media rather than you. Here it is, Charli D'Amelio. Because my thing is like, what, Charli D'Amelio did this in a year. You've been on YouTube probably like what, this like the same year I started and stuff. And yeah, so it's, yeah, me personally, I wouldn't get no comments or no criticism or no advice, nothing from you, because you just don't come off as a person that just gives that type of stuff off. Charli D'Amelio, on the other hand, it's like she just seems like more of a motivating person when it comes, because it's like she's balancing a much more bigger platform over her head other than you. You're like trying to like hang on and just say like, ooh, let me point over here and talk about this. Let me talk about this. Like, at the end of the day, Trisha, nobody cares on what you have to say about Charli D'Amelio, James Charles, nobody. You're doing this out of your own whatever, you know, so anyways.
And crying, and I am completely sorry if people are telling you to kill yourself. That's so wrong on so many levels. But you can't go James Charles and say keep my name out of your mouth when your whole career and livelihood is based on social media people talking about you and watching what you do. It's you call me out, but why don't we call out people that are actually being harmful and detrimental to your growth? James Charles, your parents, everyone's saying that your behavior is okay.
That's the thing. I'm like, sorry to cut you off, right? But I'm like, Charlie D'Amelio, she can sit at a table with her parents and James Charles and have a legitimate conversation about whatever. And if there is some shady things going on, guess what Charlie D'Amelio can do? She is under the age, so when she gets older, I guess, then it's like she'll have the opportunity to just like, cut them all off if they are doing something to her and things. But you, on the other hand, like, do you think that Charlie D'Amelio could sit down at a table and have a conversation with you? If so, then it's like that you are most likely going to have a 16, 17-year-old kid jumping across that table trying to, like, lay hands on you and stuff. I'm like, yeah, you just don't really have, like, that sitting at a table, like, having a conversation, like, vibe and stuff. So, anyway.
Did this really just try to turn her against her own parents?
Yeah.
What?
People are just getting involved just to get involved. And like, I'm just gonna say it, Trisha Paytas.
And again, I know she's a minor, but it's the people around her feeding this. It's not getting involved just to get involved. You're number one trending on Twitter right now. The Today Show is publishing articles. Like, it's so clear she's specifically calling me out because of the people in her life, specifically James Charles.
This is one thing that I can't give y'all advice on, is like people like this where they feel like that they, if it leads down to a situation where if a social media influencer says, hey, keep my name out of your mouth, and the person that they're talking to continuously keeps talking about them or tries to like say, oh, it's this person, it's this person, it's this person, and things like they're trying to like use like everybody around them to like come up with, I guess, like whatever Trisha Paytas is trying to talk on and stuff. Overall, she's trying to just manipulate Charlie D'Amelio. She's just trying to get in the girl's head. And I'm like, that's the thing. I'm like, you're trying to use yourself, you versus her family, friends, people that in her head she can trust. And if she can trust them, then okay, cool. She can trust them. If they do her dirty, that's some stuff that they have to live with, So I'm like, and overall, it's like, this is like this girl, I would see it as this. She's a 16-year-old girl, 16, 17, however. She's in control of whatever she does on the internet. Her family, whoever, they ain't got no control over what she does on the internet. She's in control of that. So I'm like, if they are in control of it, how is that going to turn out? How is that going to work out? Eventually, it's going to be like some Britney Spears type stuff or some Lindsay Lohan type stuff. And it's going to be like some like court things going on between. So I'm like, I don't see that happening. But anyways.
Why are you hanging out with a minor?
Now, this is just a very weird and random comment. James was there hanging out with the entire family, including both the girl's parents and Dixie, who's 19 years old. I don't see anything wrong with that. Comment down below if I'm not seeing something here.
No, it's not. It's one thing when it's like if you're just hanging out with Charlie D'Amelio and Charlie D'Amelio alone, then I'm like, that's a little sus. Like that to me would be a little sus, because I mean, I'm like, I wouldn't hang out with like some like underage kid unless I'm like, I don't know, if I'm like really cool with the family, then I'm like, okay, then I would consider this like me hanging out with like a little brother or a little sister or something. But that's something that needs to be like well displayed all across the world. Like everybody knows like, hey, this is like my little brother, this is like my little sister or something, or a little cousin, whatever you want to consider them as. But other than that, if I don't really know them, then I'm like, we gonna have to do family stuff. I can't just hang out with you just by yourself. We're gonna have to do some sort of like family stuff and things. So, but anyways,
weird when Tati did it to you, and look how that turned out, and now you're hanging out with an actual like child. It's concerning, but all of this screams him, because he also told me to keep my name out of his mouth, when that's how you guys are making money. That's how you guys are millionaires at such a young age and owning houses. It's the internet. What?
Yet how come that when people talk about...
Did she just say that they made millions because of her? Like talking... Oh man, Trisha, I did want to say a video like... I don't know, because... There's some things, man. There's some things I like to say, but I'm like, you know what? I'm trying to be a more positive person. I'm trying to live in a positive light and stuff. But I'm just saying, You almost had me. You almost had me.
You issue copyright strikes against them, even though the only reason why you're ever relevant is because of the drama you stir up.
And baby girl, in the same breath you asked me not to talk about you and I don't know you. You can't just say I'm not a nice person because, sweetheart, you don't know me.
Girl, you put 99% of your life on the internet. Everybody
Yeah.
knows you're not a nice person.
And what I said wasn't even that bad.
This I agree with. Even though she had absolutely no business commenting on this situation, she didn't say anything really particularly mean in that one instant. Whatever she had previously said about Charlie before, about her not having any talent or whatever, I don't know about. But with regard to this situation, she actually wasn't that mean.
Just like other people in
I
your
don't know.
life.
But I think it's more so like Charlie D'Amelio know who she is. So she's like, look, I don't want you talking about me at all. Whether you did say something nice or you like didn't say anything nice. Like overall, she knows who she is as a person and she doesn't want to be bothered with her. So
I've seen you guys come and go. The sense of entitlement is not cute. It's unbecoming. This is not how you're gonna last on social media, no matter how many followers you have now. At the end of the day, again, I don't wish anyone to be canceled. I give some outside perspective. I give my opinions because, again, it's social media. People are allowed to give their opinions. Someone needs to intervene and step in, and not her family and not James Charles. And I really do wish her well. Truly, truly, truly. Don't let anyone tell you not to call someone out if you think someone's in the wrong.
And then Trisha went on and on and on, repeating a lot of the same things over and over again. You guys, kid you not, she
like the
posted
James Charles
73
situation.
TikToks in one day. 73 freaking TikToks, and
No.
I downloaded them all to post on this video, but it was way too long, so I'm not going to include them in this video because, again, she's being very repetitive, saying James Charles and her family are enabling Charlie, and she's a public figure. She needs to be able to accept criticism. She's not going to last too long on the internet, but she also does mention multiple times that, yes, Charlie is a minor, so she can't judge her too hard.
Her parents need to limit or restrict her access to social media, in my opinion. Charlie, you're a minor. I sincerely apologize.
Now that I do agree with. I feel like that there are some kids out there where if they don't know how to, you for an example, Trisha Paytas, yeah, you need somebody to take away your internet access because you kind of act like a child sometimes. But is this it? I feel like this might be it. Is this it? This don't look like it. I don't think this is it. She got, what am I looking at? Man, I swear, man, this is why I don't like going on TikTok, because I'm like, this just be some weird stuff. Hold on for a sec. Okay, cool. 20% iPhone. Trish. Is this it? It's the same thing. She's like posting a dancing video. I don't ever want to go to Trisha Paytas'. Hold on for a sec. I actually think I might. Was this it? I don't know. I just came across some weird stuff, but I don't want to look back at it again.
At that age, I know it could feel like the worst thing in the world.
Was she like in an airplane or no? She's in a car.
Being hateful, people just wanted you to take accountability.
Oh, like this woman done went from her apartment to a
James
car.
tweeted in response saying, "The Charlie situation is not sitting right with me. 100 million followers in 1 year, and y'all expect her to know how to be a perfect role model? Death threats because she's a picky eater, and made a joke about a milestone. 30-plus-year-olds dragging someone half their age feels familiar." Of course, Trisha had to respond to this on TikTok as well, saying,
"Oh, had to come back because our favorite forever victims, James Charles, subtweeted this about me. You young kids and kittens, the reason why you're so rich is because people talk about you."
You as well, Trisha.
I'm allowed to comment on people I've never even met before. I wasn't a 30-year-old being friends with you, James, underage. You are also 21 years old, friends with an underage minor. I'm gonna keep talking about you. As long as you're on social media, people are open for criticism. There's no foul misconduct, except for you being friends with a 16-year-old girl. Ew. How is it that James Charles is the victim in every single situation? I've never heard of someone so innocent and just always the victim.
Have you looked in the mirror before?
James, you ain't gonna last. You were the next Tyler Oakley going into obscurity.
Wow, Trisha, that was uncalled for. What did Tyler Oakley ever do to you?
Real soon, because you have no humility. You don't take any accountability. You keep going around, walking around with no masks, laughing with people with no masks.
How does she manage to change the topic so quickly and like make it sound like it's relevant? Literally, you guys, everybody was talking about the situation. Corinna even tweeted about it. I don't know what her last name is. Someone let me know. How do you pronounce her last name? Is it Kopf? Corinna
Like, some-
Kopf
yeah.
tweeted about it saying, imagine an actual controversial creator coming for a 16-year-old because they have bad manners. Ha ha ha, okay. Trisha came out in response saying,
Imagine me not actually coming for her, just saying that it's unbecoming when hundreds of thousands of other people have also commented on her. And when I went to go reply on Twitter, it was already taken down because Corinna Kopf is in a cult, ladies and gentlemen. Daddy David told you to take it down? Oh, don't mention Trish. Anytime I mentioned X Trish out, someone mentioned me in one of David's live streams, and that's the only live stream that went missing. Corinna girl, at least get a backbone. Keep that tweet up. I'll go back and forth all day long, because you know you ain't perfect either, babe. Call me controversial because my shit is out there, but honey, your darkness will come to light soon if you really wanted to. Subtweets are shady as hell. You're gonna call someone out. Call someone out. I hate this bullshit.
What?
That people...
So here's the thing. Because Corinna was definitely, like, hands down one of the most open, like, Vlog Squad members of all time. So what does she necessarily have to, like, hide? Like, oh, man, there's gonna be a day, there's, like, probably a content creator that we don't know of that knows Trisha Paytas and is going to drop, like, the most craziest exposing video of all time. Like, nobody's not going to be expecting it. It's going to be, like, a video like, well, dang. Like, we wasn't expecting that. Like, we wasn't expecting that at all. Me and Hot T, we just gonna be sitting down, just eating our popcorn, just watching the whole thing as it goes down. And Trisha, I personally feel like Trisha's gonna be in the situation like that, where she's not gonna know how to respond. Like, there's gonna be somebody out. Watch, but she says that about everybody. She literally says that about every single person that she beefs with. Like, oh, I got some dirt on you. I know that there's something about. Like, watch, I'm telling you, the day Trisha Paytas, when she watches one of my videos, she was like, oh yeah, this TMossBoss character, I got so much dirt on him. That's what I'm about, like, you know what? I ain't gonna say anything else in the next video. Please tell them the dirt that you have on me. Please tell them. I'm like, I would love to hear that the dirt that's been told, because I'm like, it's stuff that I'm gonna be like, right, that happened. It's stuff that I'm just gonna either own up to or just gonna, like, it's a flat out lie. Like, this girl, I swear, man, she's a straight up, like, I don't know, she a comic book character, but...
Subtweeting shit. It's so weird. Corinna, aren't you the same chick who made merch called My Anxieties Have Anxieties, profiting off mental illness?
again, how is that related to the topic at hand?
It's like, you should be the, like, fine one to talk when you was out here talking about, you would, not so much, no. What was that, like, or it was like identity disorder or something. So it's like you were making fun of, like, disorders or, like, trying to use it for views and stuff. And then, but no, I was going to mention and talk about how she was trying to say she was a transgender. So I'm like, you went after the LGBTQ community. So I'm like, or you, like, tried to, like, use that name for views. So fine one to talk.
To escalate things even farther, Dixie D'Amelio posted a TikTok of her dancing to Trisha Paytas singing the N-word around a decade ago. Trisha responded to this on TikTok saying,
I was 22 at the time. Definitely have apologized for that video numerous times. It's gross. Saying the N-word is gross. But here's what trips my trigger. Dixie was dancing to a song with the N-word not bleeped yesterday. I said the word 10 years ago. How come you and your sister have done multiple dances to the N-word? Just because you go, when it's said, doesn't make it okay. She says this. I don't need to promote.
My thing is, I'm actually happy that people do that. Like, no, like, to just sit down and talk on that. I know people will probably ask me, how does that make me feel? To see, like white content creators, I don't know, I feel like that's weird saying that. But no, to see, like, white content creators dancing to a song performed by a black artist, and there's, you know, if we, like, the majority of, like, black artists today, they are gonna say the N-word. Like, that's one thing for sure, you know. So and it's like, they're not, like, saying, because, you know, like, that's what I'm like, people get mad at them for when they, like, either whisper it, or not whisper it, but just, like, mouth it or lip sync it and things. So I'm like, I can see why you get mad at that, because it's like, you are, in a way, I guess, kind of saying it. But if you, like, cover your mouth or shush your, like, whatever and things, like, if you do that, that's cool. I'm fine with that. But I'm just like, I don't know, if you actually come out and say it, then that's what I'm like, dang. Like, I'm not going to be like that highly offensive, angry black man, but I'm just going to be like, wow, they actually said it. I'm like, well, I know the black community is going to be after you guys, so yeah, that's what I'm like, hey, that's on them if they say it and things. But anyways.
The sound. But you did. Now, James accused me of being also a Trump supporter, among other false allegations saying that I voted for Trump was his specific words. I'm a registered independent, and I voted for Biden this year. When I talked about Trump years ago, I never even voted. Now, why is that not okay?
Trisha, you made multiple videos talking about why you support Donald Trump and thus indirectly encouraging others to vote for Donald Trump as well.
Wow.
So whether or not you actually voted for him in this case doesn't matter because you probably led a lot of other people to do that.
Yeah.
Dixie's dad is a literal politician, a literal Republican.
But again, it's not like you can use being a Republican as an insult because everyone's allowed to have their own political opinions. It really just has to do with someone's intelligence level and their emotional intelligence as well, in my belief. But we're not going to get too political here.
So you're bashing me by saying I'm a Trump supporter. You're cool being friends with the family. Baby, you need Charlie. You were on the outs, so thank God you are friends with the D'Amelios while their fame lasts.
Okay, girl, you can keep saying that to yourself. Whatever makes you sleep at night. Lorraine also tweeted, "Good morning to everyone except Trisha Paytas." Trisha responds,
"And the hits keep coming from people who will be irrelevant next year. Hey, Lorraine, if that's how you say your name, what's up, babe?"
Is it like, I don't know, because I know that they, you know, would it be wrong if I crossed the street? Like, if I was walking, I'd cross the street because I'm all like, yo, this woman, I don't know what's going through her right now, and I don't know what's going on, but I'm crossing the street. Like, I don't care if I was like in the middle of I-5. I'm like, I'm crossing the street because I would rather test my luck crossing the street and things than to, you know, walk past her. I'm like, no, she might be one of those sites where she'll see me, think I'm like somebody, have like a Vietnam flashback, and I'm getting punched in the face. I'm like, I wouldn't want that, so.
Babe, I'll still take the good morning because you acknowledge me what? So I'm going to acknowledge you. Stop spreading COVID. You're ignorant and dumb and you're literally killing people. Wear masks. It's not that hard. These people come and go with no discernible talent.
Like, the number when I know because I was kind of like that in the beginning, so I'm like, okay, I'll let that slide. But I remember it was like she was outside some restaurant mad because she couldn't get her food because like places was closing down or something like that. So, but yeah, I'm like, but I was the same way, but I was like, I was willing to stay indoors and stuff. But anyway, so I'll let that slide.
They'll be gone. Bye. See ya. Invest. I don't always take glory when influencers fall off the face of the earth, but these people are stupid, putting people's lives in danger, not taking anything seriously. COVID rules don't apply to stupid ass influencers. Also loved Tana saying OMG when she said the hard R and so N-word so aggressively. Stupid. Y'all canceled. Oh, Nikita Dragon liked this tweet. How fitting. Here comes the next serve of people literally killing people, literally not caring about the health and safety of people's lives. Here we go. It is illegal to not wear a mask. How is Saddle Ranch still even open right now, allowing this to happen not once but multiple times? Her hiding her face because an employee is screaming at her to Nikita, put a mask on because, hey, Saddle Ranch should be shot down for all these influencers not abiding by pandemic guidelines.
Okay, so Trisha actually started a feud with literally every other influencer out there, but at least she apologized to Charlie, right? For having hurt her feelings. Wrong. She actually retracted her apology.
Wow.
So I had apologized to Charlie because I felt like I actually hurt her feelings, but apology retracted. Like, she is entitled and spoiled, and the more I see and the reactions from her sister dancing to the N-word, like thinking that makes it okay to trying to humiliate me, but humiliate herself by just being more offensive in 2020 and just projecting that to her 40 million followers.
And yeah, so that's all of the tea as of right now. Who knows? There probably will be 72 more TikToks to report on tomorrow. But for now, guys, please give this video a thumbs up. It took so freaking long to put together. Just like I'm begging you, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I post new videos every single week. All right, you guys, bye.
There was a couple of videos she posted this week though, but yeah. That's Trisha, man. Dang, this is a long video. I'm gonna go ahead and end this because I was like, I didn't realize. I don't know, you just get carried away and stuff. But anyways, no, it was a pretty good video though. I did enjoy it. Make sure if you guys haven't, go subscribe to Hot Tea for more videos like this. Like, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.